We got a question from Craig Lawson, and maybe Roos, you can shed some light on this. The scavenger hunt, I had to have Rusty explain it to me too. This is a boiled down version of what Mark Richt did when he was here, when he brought a ton of kids onto campus for the same weekend. And this thing has kind of emerged, as a cult favorite, I guess. Like, it was a little event that Kirby staff put together to simplify these weekends. And now it's really like the event of the summer, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the new dog night, right? I mean, that's probably the closest comparison that we've got in terms of, they're bringing in guys aren't necessarily committed, but, these are all pretty high-level guys for the most part. And, Craig's asking, does Kirby get involved in the scavenger hunt? Absolutely. There's no question about it. Part of the scavenger hunt. Yeah, I was going to say part of the scavenger hunt always is find Coach Smart. And so you get to go, you got to go take a photo with Coach Smart. And that's like part of it. They they always post those to Twitter. It's great exposure for Kirby. He's posing with the guys,
great content for us.
Absolutely. Sure.
He's got envelopes hanging off of him like a Christmas tree.
Come find him.
Go pick one off of Kirby, see how much is in it.
Yeah, he's got the McDonald's bags. Like the Pruitt.
This is Athens. This isn't Knoxville.
But he's absolutely a huge part of it. Staffers are also involved. I mean, you're going to be basically, my understanding has always been that kind of like you're with your positional coach and you're a team. And so you're with other guys who play your position, and then you kind of run around and do all the things, check them all off. And so, like you said, Wes, it really has turned into a big event. To be honest with you, when I first heard about it, I was like, that's kind of a cheesy idea.
Yeah.
For a Kirby Smart thing, like to me, it seems a little bit goofy, but it's really kind of taken a life of its own and really kind of, like you said, turned into a major, major event for Georgia recruiting.
They've used it to accentuate the features of Athens, the features of the University of Georgia that they really want to be seen. That they want.
It feels like an orientation type thing, as cheesy as it may feel, if you've got the kind of visit list that Georgia's got, and these kids buy into it, and they whether they buy into the scavenger hunt or not, if they're on campus for it.
That's a huge win.
That says it all.
Yeah, who cares? I mean, my God, let them go wrestle pigs if they're. I mean, just get them on campus, dude. Who cares what they're doing?
Palmer's going to be in the rafters of the Chapel Bell snapping pics for us this weekend. Well, speaking of that visit list, the fact that Dylan Raiola should be there, from everything we know, along with some other incredibly stupid talent, Roos, take us home on the show tonight with the kinds of connections, the networking that could be going on between Dylan Raiola and some of the other talent in the Classic City this weekend.
And do it in song form.
I'm going to do interpretive dance, in fact. So
do like Michael Cera and Superbad.
These eyes. No, so I can't listen. The Raiola piece can't really be underrated in all of this. I mean, everybody's after Kirby Smart, and wants to know how he's going to be involved in this. The staffers will be involved as well. But, Dylan Raiola's presence is going to be huge. And like I said, Wes, we're expecting him to be there as of Wednesday night. And so we'll see if it all comes together. You always got to include caveats for that kind of thing. But we're expecting him to be there. And if he's there as planned, then that's massive, because there's going to be a gravitas around a guy like that. And I keep telling people this about, the NIL era. And it's not necessarily a money thing, but it's an exposure thing. Guys want to be in the sphere with people like Dylan Raiola. They know that their brand is expanded by being adjacent to a guy like that. They are going to be on camera if Dylan Raiola is around. They're going to be, connected to more people than they would ever think to be if Dylan Raiola is around. And so I think that that's such a huge piece to this, man. You get a guy like Jeremiah Smith on campus. And look, we can call it what it is. Georgia has not been recruiting wide receiver at the level that they have linebackers.
Y'all got to stop talking about this guy, because I'm just going to get my hopes up.
I caution everybody not to, because Ohio State is what Ohio State is, and Brian Hartline is the guy. There's no question about it. As whatever you think about Glenn Schumann on linebackers, it is equal when it comes to Brian Hartline at wide receiver. So this is not a guy that gets beat a lot, and this is a guy who's developing NFL talent. The pedigree is there. It's all in place when you're talking about.
Come to Ohio State and sit out of a playoff game if your toe hurts.
Hey, and whatever you do not ride with that man in his side by side. Okay, stay out of the man's side by side.
But this
advice.
Like I said, it's huge. I mean, it really is. It's massive. Those connections, and like I said, to me, it's all about the brand now, right? I mean, guys are branding themselves. I mean, what Julian Humphrey came in with Julio Island. I mean, he made that up in his senior year of high school. I mean, he was already like ahead of the train when it came to branding himself. These guys are smart, they're savvy, and they've got people in their corners who are directing them in that way. And listen, if you want to be on the front of the paper, you want to be on the TV, Dylan Raiola is going to have cameras on him when he gets to Athens, sitting on the bench. So you just want to be sitting on the bench next to Dylan Raiola. I mean, he has that kind of power. That's what comes with the number one, with being the number one player in America, and especially at a position like quarterback.
Whew.
I want the camera to catch Wes Blankenship on the bench next to Dylan Raiola before he leaves Georgia.
Why would that happen?
I don't know. Just see you down there on the sideline, sneak over there and just slide in there real quick, let the camera catch you and get out.
I'm going to do I've got a list coming tomorrow. I'm breaking down what I think are the 5 most important visits this weekend. And I'll go ahead and tease one of them tonight because he just dropped his top 5.
That.
Jeremiah Smith, it's important.
He's on the list. So I guess we'll tease 2. It's Jaden Riddell, though. Jaden Riddell just dropped his top 5 tonight.
Just steal something from the Vols?
Number one tight end in America, per the rankings. Well, I guess number 2, I think, actually. He may have fallen behind Landon Thomas. But no question, though, that Jaden Riddell, a huge piece of this, and a guy who I think is going to be heavily influenced by the Raiola decision. I think that he's a guy, I'm not saying he's on commit watch, but Georgia, this is, and I wrote this earlier in the week when I was previewing some of the official visits. What this opportunity provides Georgia is they get to set the bar. All right. For these official visitors, Georgia is the bar which everything else will be measured against. That's a great position to be in my opinion. I think you want either the first or the last official visit. They're getting a lot of firsts this week. They're getting a lot of really talented guys that aren't even on officials this week. I think that they've got a real chance to set the stage for the summer for some of the best players in the nation. And that's really all you can ask for if you're Kirby Smart and his staff.
Riddell's an unofficial though, right?
It is. Yes. That's what, yeah. Absolutely.
And he just checked. He's the number 1 tight end according to On3, number 2 in the industry ranking.
That's what it is. Yep. Okay.
And when you get them on front officials, that means a lot because they're coming on their own dime.
Ain't no doubt. And he's coming back for an official, and it won't be long before he's back on campus. So it's a situation for him where, you follow it up, you get 2 visits super close together like that, and both of them slap. Hey, maybe things change.